Considering how much of a slob I am in real life, it is really odd how much I enjoy cleaning stuff in video games. Whether it's tidying up a mountainside in Minecraft, scouring blood and guts off a wall in visceral cleanup detail, or vacuuming up muck in the Gunk, there is something satisfying about taking something that is chaotic and making it clean and orderly. As a big fan of image-informed games and their previous work, the mostly well-received SteamWorld series, I was looking forward to the Gunk as something to scratch my cleaning itch and see how well the developers stepped from 2D into 3D. The story is pretty straightforward. You've landed on a planet looking for resources, but the planet is covered in some sort of life-draining gunk that slows your progression and seems to be killing the planet. There are some callbacks to our own environmental concerns on this planet, but the story itself isn't going to surprise anyone. The real meat of the story is the relationship between the protagonist and their shipmate. It has some really well-written dialogue, and the two characters seem like genuine friends and co-workers, not a stream of one-liners that we see in a lot of games with less nuanced writing. Despite the dirt, the Gunk is a good-looking game. It has the charm of a 3D platforming console launch title. Not very long, not very hard, but a nice experience nonetheless. It's usually pretty easy to read the levels and figure out what you're supposed to be doing, and the reward of seeing an area bloom back to life once you've removed all the gunk really shows that the developers' artistic skills have transitioned well into the 3D space. At its core, this is a puzzle platformer. You'll be running, jumping, and figuring out how to manipulate the gunk and the world to get to the areas you need to get and complete the tasks you need to complete. The platforming isn't meaty enough to provide the satisfaction of something like a Super Meat Boy, but you'll fail a few times and need to adjust your approach at time. The game does have combat, but it's extremely simple, and there are really only a handful of enemy types who are mostly killed by sucking them up with your vacuum and then throwing them so that they explode. There's also an upgrade system that rewards you for exploration, but most of the upgrades felt a little underwhelming as the game was so easy to begin with. While it's a solid first step into the 3D space, I feel the Gunk needed more. With how good their SteamWorld games are, and the depth that many of them display, the simplicity of the Gunk seems like a step backwards just to make the step forward into 3D. Hopefully, this was just them getting their toes wet, and we'll see the same depth of previous image-informed game products brought into the 3D space. Not bad, but also not great. The Gunk is a good game that should have aimed a little higher. The Gunk earns a 7 out of 10. Hey, did you like that video? If you did, be sure to let us know by clicking the like button and leaving a comment. If you want to be first in line for any new content, be sure to subscribe to our channel and then hit up our Facebook page. The link's in the description below to see what's coming up next.